Welcome to my podcast.
That's not how we start the show, is it?
Well, welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast.
That Natasha now owns. We have a lot of announcements to make. First of all, I've been kicked off. Is it kicked off?
Of what?
The podcast.
Yes, you have. We've got a lot
This is my final episode.
Big changes. We just signed to a new company.
Oh, yeah. Well, we did.
They're called Dear Media.
This is pretty exciting stuff. We are with a new network. We've gone through some iterations over the years. We've been indie for the last couple of years, and what we realized, Natasha, is that being indie sucks. You know, like staying independent, it's not. It's for the birds. You want to go to the
corporate? You want to sell out? Is that your thing?
It's for the birds. Well, that's
selling out is in. See, my generation, selling out was bad, but now selling out's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what we realized. We realized that independent film, independent comics, independent hip hop, indie music, it's all crap. It's garbage.
Pepsi all the way, babe.
It's Pepsi. No, now Dear Media is not Pepsi. That's the beauty part of this company.
Oh, I was not implying that.
No, I'm saying they're more like, you know that mate company, Guayabia? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Guayaca?
Yeah.
Guayaca.
Okay.
It's like Guayaca, the podcast network.
You might get sued for even saying this.
By who? Dear Media or Guayaca?
Dear Media.
By the way, speaking of Guayaca, I think it's called Guayaca. You know the one, the yellow can that has the mate?
Kind of.
Like the mate drinks that you see everywhere?
Yeah, okay.
I was like, oh, Guayaca. I was like, that's very like native sounding. What if this is the one company that has found a way to take like a native supplement, food source, and go global with the company and is still owned by the people, by the country that it came from? Looked it up. The guy's name was like Jason Goodman or something. Anyway, it's owned by a white guy. But isn't that funny? Whites just win. Whites do everything. They go in.
I don't know if I stand by these.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying
rant.
I'm saying anytime you hear about like, oh, did you hear there's a new, like the quinoa king of Cleveland is never somebody from Peru. I think that's where quinoa comes from. Bolivia? Bel Air? Anyway.
Moshe, you were about to say that.
The what? Oh, okay. I got some. So that's our great news, is that we are now officially a member of the Dear Media family. DMF for good. DMF for good.
They're the fam.
Dear Media, just so you know about them, they are one of the most prolific purveyors of deer-related online content. They do elk, they do reindeer, and if you ever need to pen a letter to them, you just write Dear Media.
DEER. No, it's DEAR.
And they are our family. So we're excited to be with you, Dear Media. And to those of you listening, it's not going to change anything, really. It's pretty much going to be the same. But that was our great news. Mm-hmm. And then I have some good news.
What's that?
And then I have some bad news.
Uh-oh.
And then I have a question.
Okay.
Which one should I do first?
Why don't you just do them in that order?
Okay. That was great news. Mm-hmm. Good news. Last year, I put on my vision board that I don't have, you know.
That you wanted to be sent free shoes every other week?
No, although that has come true as well. But last year I put on my vision board, I'd really like to be in a movie this year. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you guys, last week, I shot movie number 2. What's going on with me?
Wait, you have an actual vision board?
No, I don't.
It's in your head?
It's a vision. I have a mental vision board.
That's smart.
And I thought this year...
Less embarrassing.
That's so true. That's so true. We do have some friends that keep a physical vision board, and I have on my mental vision board to get those people out of my life.
Interesting.
But I put on the board, be in a movie. I had no idea there would be 2. 2?
Well, congratulations, Moshe.
Thanks. This was good. This last one I did. And this last film that I was in, unfortunately, I will say was independent. Both of them have been independent, which is not good because we are a Dear Media family.
Well, listen, I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. Are you jealous?
Do
you feel jealousy that I'm a movie star and you're not right now?
Only of your accommodations.
Well...
So Moshe went to shoot the movie and...
Well, they gave me a $500 stipend, a hotel buyout.
For 5 nights in New York.
For 5 nights in New York. Which, I don't know if you've been in New York lately. But you can't get a hotel for 5 nights for $500.
Not including tax and like all of that.
Not including a room. You can't do it.
Right.
I tried really hard, and then finally I called the director and I was like, look, I'm not trying to be a diva here. It was a short film. It was an indie short film. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything, but I said, look, I'm not trying to be a diva, but I don't think I should pay money to be in your film. And he's like, I totally get what you're saying. Hold on, let me do some research. He called me back a little bit later. He goes, how do you feel about feeding a cat? So I said, I'm not a diva. I said, I'm fine with that. And so me and Delilah spent a lovely 5 nights together. She woke me up every night.
Didn't you say she peed?
She was peeing on the floor a little bit. She was an older cat. It didn't bother me.
No, the smell of cat piss isn't that
It's
annoying.
nice. No, it's nice. I mean, it's reminiscent of the rest of New York City, which is where I was. Now, I had a great time with Delilah, though. She was a sweet cat. It made me actually realize, because we have a proliferation of shit cats in our life. Like,
What do you call a shit cat?
well, I've got one person in my life whose shit cat never comes out of the bedroom when we come over. It's like has like PCSD or whatever, post cat stress disorder. It won't come out. It won't let you pet it. It just hides. Then
That's very common with cats. They're called skittish.
well, it's shittish. I mean, it's not fun. I mean, what's the point?
I think a lot of cats. That's like the
Well,
stereotype of the cat.
Not Delilah.
Oh, what was Delilah like? She just
Sweet.
sat in a pool of her own piss. Well, you practiced your lines.
When I'd get it right, when I get the line right, she'd be like, meow, and then she piss again. No, Delilah was cool, man. I liked her. Then there's another cat in my life that there was a stern warning given. She's the sweetest cat, but she doesn't like being pet on top of her head, and she may bite if you do that. And so my daughter was petting this cat, and it was purring and shit, and her finger went like a centimeter above the neckline, and this fucking little bitch cat drew blood on our child.
I didn't even know about this.
It was bad. It it drew blood.
You know what kind of cat I would want? Because I think I've already had a cat because Cutie was like a cat.
No, she was not.
And she would just kind of like sit on a pillow and stare at you. Like, I think that would be fun.
Because I'm thinking to myself,
You know,
I wanted
like,
to kick that fucking cat, by the way, when it bit my daughter.
Ooh.
But I'm thinking to myself, what are cats for? I mean, yeah, they hunt mice, but
They're for eating.
You got skipper keys. Oh yeah, they're for eating in Ohio, girl. I hear you on that. I hear you. But I was starting to think cats are a pointless endeavor. And then I met Delilah, and I was like, right, this is what a pet cat could be for. You don't have to pay any attention to it, but it'll come up and pet you whenever you're there.
You don't have to walk it. Walking it is annoying.
I was in New York for 5 days. I saw Delilah at the end of the shoot. It pet me, and then it went away.
Wait, so cats
I didn't walk it. I didn't do anything. It didn't leave the house. It's like COVID. All cats are sheltering in place.
Wait, cats don't get...
That's funny,
It is
right?
like COVID.
Yeah.
No, that's so true. I never realized that cats don't really go outside.
Well, indoor cats don't.
But I mean, most people who own cats have indoor cats.
I wouldn't. I would have an outdoor cat, and I would let it die. I mean, why? Why not? Let it get out there. You know? All right. So that's the good.
Oh God! I was gonna say I thought we were done.
Oh, with the whole intro?
No, keep going.
I have some terrible news.
Ooh, no.
And then I have the question, but we don't have to ask the question. It's not that
So
significant.
are we on
question.
terrible or is there more good?
Terrible. I got some really bad news this
Okay,
week.
what is it?
I don't know how to bring this up, but there's somebody that we know that was doing some work on a professional level, on a podcasting level with our producer, toxic producer Laura.
Mm.
And I don't know how to bring this up, but he said that she was really, I guess, good at her job and like professional and easy to work with.
So you want to rename her?
I just don't know. It shocked me. It was not something that I was prepared to hear, and it's kind of stunned me a little bit. You know, the news.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll get over it.
I don't know if I will, but thank you for your support.
Oh, maybe her name can be Toxic Producer Laura, but it can be ironic.
No, you think that what I'm having a hard time with is having to rebrand her. It's just I see her as so, I guess, profoundly inept. Yes, thanks, Laura. That to hear that she's good at her job. I mean, on some level, this podcast is so good. How could she not be? But on another level, it's just a betrayal. That's the word I was looking for. It feels like a great betrayal.
Well, maybe she can find a way to redeem herself to you.
Maybe tonight. Maybe
Maybe she really produced a great episode for us. So
should we find out?
Well, do we want to hear your question?
No, I can save the question for another time. And that is what we call a cliffhanger. And Dear Media has demanded every single episode intro ends with a cliffhanger. So tune in next week to see if I remember what my question was.
Okay, so we have someone on the line waiting to speak to us. Let's see who we have. Let's call Lisa in Denver.
How about this? How about we don't call her?
Okay. Why don't we?
Because she's already called us.
Let Laura.
Yeah, let Laura press connect. She's good at her job.
The way she presses connect.
She's one of the best. One of the best. Lisa. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great. How's Denver? I was just there. What a great time.
I was there on your first show, actually.
Oh, yeah. That was a fun show.
That was really fun.
It was a slapper, that one.
My only problem with Denver is that there's so much construction because everybody wants to move there.
That's true.
Yeah, we have construction in our backyard right now.
It sucks. I hate cities that have construction, but it's every city.
It's ours. It's us.
I know. I think I might want to move to the country.
You want to go to the country? I would. Lisa, would you move with us to the country of Colorado?
Yeah.
Would you live with us? Would you be down to live with us?
Yeah.
As like a polycule?
I was thinking like a nanny or something.
Oh, okay. That's good. That works too. Honestly, that works too.
I like it.
I bet Natasha likes that more.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That'd be great. What do you do for work currently?
I work as a nonprofit volunteer manager.
Oh, so this would be a gigantic economic step up to become a nanny.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, I agree.
Okay, how can we help you?
Yeah, so quick backstory. I've been with my boyfriend for 2.5 years now. And before this relationship, he has never thought seriously about getting married before. And I've always wanted to get married. And then we've been to couples counseling because we live together. So we wanted to do that to kind of maintain a healthy relationship. And then we got to a point where he felt comfortable with getting married. And then in April, he got laid off. And we had planned on getting engaged later this year or early next year. So obviously that plan has been delayed. But recently he got a verbal job offer. It's not quite confirmed yet because he needs to do the technical portion. He's a software engineer, so they need to do
verbal job offer. A verbal job is like phone. That's phone sex, or
yeah, like edging. I think
edging. Oh, he's doing verbal edging. That's what we do on this podcast. That's perfect.
Yeah, but nothing's confirmed yet. But my question is, how do I bring up the topic of getting engaged again without sounding selfish? I don't want him to think like I've been thinking about it this whole time and not supporting him.
Okay. This is a good one because she's already brought it up. It's already been the pre-ask has already been pre-asked, and then they undid it. So how does she redo it without seeming desperate or pushy?
Well, I mean, the basic information is that you need to make sure that he knows that you will say yes and that you're ready.
But he knows that.
Okay.
But they undid it.
Well, she needs to remind him I don't understand how she undid it.
Because he got laid off. So by the way, why didn't you just get engaged? It doesn't cost money to get engaged. Is that?
I guess what you want to know is he making excuses?
Yes. I think he means well. Like I think he wants to do it. He's just like hesitating to do it because he's nervous because he's never done it before.
I get your dilemma though. I mean, hopefully he's never done it before. I mean, you don't want a man that's done it 17 times. I get your dilemma though, right? Which is like, I think it's weird that you guys decided not to get engaged because he got laid off, because it's like being engaged is free. But I get it from a super traditional, like we get engaged and then we immediately jump into real planning and we are 9 months out from the wedding, starting from the moment you ask me. That's a more old school version of being engaged. I get your dilemma because from that old school perspective, when you undid the engagement based on not being ready to like start wedding planning ASAP, you don't want him to say, honey, I got a verbal job offer. And you go, great, is the marriage back on the table? That puts you in a weird kind of position. That's, I think I have an idea here.
Well, I definitely think there's no sense in waiting. And I think it would be nice to wait till you guys are feeling a little more stable, because it sounds like that's what he wants. And I mean, if he's not, and the good news is if he's not stable with a job for more than 6 months to a year, maybe you shouldn't marry him.
Why do you say that?
I'm just saying, if he can't find a job in a year, I mean, maybe,
it's tough out there.
I know, but I mean, if he also won't ask her and be romantic, it's like,
this is what I think. What do you, yeah?
I'm saying, like, maybe wait 6 months. Does this sound like really crass or really rude?
No. I mean, I think, Natasha, you were so good with me because I was in the same boat as your boyfriend, maybe husband to be, which is that I had never had a serious relationship. I'd never really thought about marriage seriously. And you were just really clear that, like you said, if you ask, I'll say yes. So it took the pressure of that part out. So then I just had to get over my own fear. I remember we went on a trip to Hawaii and I had planned on proposing and I couldn't do it. I got too scared. She also dislocated her shoulder and was being annoying. So that
You were
helped.
going to propose then?
Yeah, but I couldn't do it.
You had a ring?
I didn't have a ring. No.
You don't propose. I would have actually been, see, that's another thing. If he proposed without a ring,
What would you have done?
I probably would be like, come back with a ring.
You would?
I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I would have gone, we were in Hawaii. I would have gone and gotten like a length of coconut rope or something.
Hold on. Lisa, where do you stand on this? Am I crazy?
No, no, I don't think so. I think that's why he's waiting, because he like wants money to buy a ring.
I see. That makes sense.
It does make sense. This whole idea that the engagement ring should be like a banger, that's also very old school.
I'm fine with a small
A rock?
but nothing. I mean, most of that's not a thing.
What are you guys, from the 1800s? I'll buy you a ring. You said yes. Now you'll get you an engagement ring. Anyway, here's what
That's a little different. Like, I'll pick if you're afraid you'll pick out the wrong one, but I mean, in terms of a gesture, it's kind of a bad symbol. Nothing.
Here's it's literally a gesture. It's just a gesture. It's an empty gesture. Okay, here's what I actually think. Here's my suggestion. If he gets the job, you should plan because he already knows that you want him to ask you to marry him. He knows that. That's settled. He also already knows that you will say yes. That's settled. So now what you need to do is build a runway to make it as easy as possible for him. And that runway should look something like a romantic trip. Maybe 6 months after he gets the job, or 4 months.
No, don't have her plan the trip.
No.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Well, she'll be so unhappy because she's going to be, every time they go to a fountain, she's going to be thinking he's going to propose.
That is true.
And he wasn't planning on that.
You make a good point. Okay, let me just get my thought out, and then maybe you're right. It's a stupid thought. Okay, you live in Colorado. It's not like you need to go to Paris or Hawaii to find a beautiful romantic place. You could say like Aspen, and then go Aspen, Breckenridge. There's some beautiful place where you're going to spend a nice weekend, and then hold on, just let me get it out before you shit on it.
Okay.
That's what I always say. I always say, let me just take it out before you shit on it.
Okay.
Sexually, I say that to you. Now, and then you say, and by the way, Aspen's a great place to propose, and never mention it again. So you guys go on the trip. You build the runway. That's what I think. What do you think, Natasha? Terrible?
I think the person asking should set the scene, and it should be their thing.
You might be right.
And I also think that made me think of something you could do, though, is maybe research. Maybe you have a friend who's a jewelry designer. You can kind of like flirt around with the idea. Like maybe there's a price point that, she could say something to him like, just so you know, like, these are really, or I don't know if there's an Instagram page of like some really,
oh God,
I don't know, just to kind of flirt and like show him that it doesn't have to be like $10,000. Like, now that is old school. That's old fashioned. Like, it should be there used to be a rule. Like, it has to be a
month
third,
and a half,
a month and a half of your salary.
2 months or something.
What's
stupid.
The rule?
Is it 3 months? 3 months? 3 months. That's a lot.
Yeah, but depending on, so if you make this amount, so then depending on if you make tons of money, you should be getting someone $100,000 ring.
Yes, I think that is why.
The
truth is he fucked up by not proposing when he got laid off. because 3 months salary at that point would have been a piece of coconut rope. It would have been perfect.
But also, you can also talk to him and say, maybe if you guys have a romantic time or whatever, you can say like a dinner, you can be like, I just want you to know.
I've got it.
Yeah.
I've got the solution.
Okay.
The split between the two of us.
Okay.
Start doing all this weird capitalist tagging of posts with rings that you like. And then say, after you do that for a while, say, I want to go on a romantic vacation. Say just that. I want to go on a romantic vacation. Take me on a romantic vacation. That's all you say. And he intuitively will know, I know this mentality. That could be a good place to ask. But
what if he's cooling on the whole idea?
Then she could find out, couldn't she?
But then she's going to spend the whole vacation annoyed thinking, oh, I took him on this vacation. He should be asking.
No, he's taking her now.
Well, I do think that infusing a little romance and like really, just letting him know that you want to know that you're back on that track. I think saying something like that.
Well, what's romantic that you're pitching? Showing him rings?
No, just letting. It's instead of, you could also say, I need a ring on my finger. When's it gonna happen? Or you can go out to dinner and say, hey, I was just thinking, I just want to make sure we're back on track, like in a romantic way.
Wow.
And even though we're not married yet, and I just want you to know too, like I am not expecting a very expensive ring, but I just want
Are
to.
You?
No.
Okay, there you go. All
Somewhere between $3,000 and nothing. Moshe's nothing. So and just let him know that, and just say, I just want, no pressure. I just want you to know, because it's like you need to watch him for the next 6 months to make sure he's not like backing out. You need to watch him for the next 6 months to make sure he's not backing out. No, because if he's like, no, we actually called it off, and now he like gets busy at a new job, or tries to get another 2 years out of like kind of not being committed, and you're ready to get married, you are already on that track.
I think
so
I like
it's not fair to
Natasha's-
go back to what he might think he wants.
I think Natasha's advice is the best advice.
Thank you.
Given today.
Can we make that into a meme?
What I like about it is that it's not pressure really, but it's not dishonest either. It's like, it's direct and it's real communication. It's not saying like, hey, when are we going to do this? It's more just saying, I would like to reset now that we're back in the zone where the thing that happened that derailed us is no longer happening. I'd like to reset, and I'm open to it, and just I love it. I almost would play it back and just memorize it.
And you can stay engaged for a while he's like looking for a job. He should be so lucky that you're like, hey, I want to stand by you before you're established and have a job.
Yeah.
So it's like and it's hard. Life is hard, and it's great to have a partner. And it's like, this is what you're embarking on. You're ready for the next stage of your life where you want a partner.
Yeah.
So that's like a lot to share a life with someone. So it's a big deal, and I think that if he's feeling like, it's just, yeah, you're ready. So
yeah, and give it a week, 1 full week after he has the job, so that it doesn't seem like you don't want to go on the celebratory, congrats, you got the job. Hey, what's up with this ring? I think like,
but also if he doesn't get the job, I still think you can talk to him.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. Good luck, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Natasha. I just want to say you're so pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Anything for me at all, Lisa? Nothing, just zero. Okay.
Did you hear that, dear? I told Dear Media when we signed the contract, you got to get rid of my husband. The people.
Ay.
All right. Listen.
Mamma mia.
Thank you.
Bye, Lisa.
Bye.
She'd be a great nanny.
She was cool.
I want her around my kid.
She seemed so, you know what it was? The energy, I should have told her this, but the energy she had is the opposite of energy that is like, put a ring on it, daddy. Where are we going with this? Like, her energy was right anyway. It was very mellow and accepting, and like very Colorado, if I'm being honest. That like, I have a feeling like the guy has the easiest version of getting over his intimacy issues that's available. You were like that too.
So you think men are kind of scared to get married?
I know that I was scared of what it meant, and the corniness of the
your fear of being basic.
Fear of being basic, and the gesture felt very gestury, and it just was like.
And you didn't want to not only have sex with me, probably.
Well, that was immaterial. That's still true. But like, it was like it was because I wanted to marry you and I want to be married to you. That wasn't had nothing to do with it. It was more just like, what does it mean? It's more existential than it is circumstantial, and I'm glad I did it.
Also, I'm glad I did it too because you cook for us. You're such a good cook.
Oh, thanks, honey. Well, that was honestly marrying you was the second best decision I ever made.
What's the first best?
Doing that short film in New York last week, baby.
You and Delilah.
Me and Delilah. Before we move on, I need to take a little break. I'm back.
Let's hear a secret.
You want to do some why are you talking like a baby?
I was going to do a new voice for the new podcast.
Ooh, I don't know if Dear media, please tell Natasha to go back to her old voice. I was listening, by the way, because we're putting out these, little ads for Dear Media. They wanted us to like cut together an ad to announce our arrival. I was listening to your voice. You got a really nice voice.
Thank you.
Well, you don't have to do that.
Think so?
Wait, tell me I have a nice voice.
You have a nice voice too, Moshe.
Why, thank you.
See, but nice and deep, those are not...
Yeah, they can be. Buttery. You don't think that sounds nice?
I like your deep voice.
The name's Bond. Thames Bond. That's non-binary Bond. You know about that? All right, let's roll.
Hi, guys. This is such a dumb secret,
Ooh.
but it's something that I lied about for many, many years. I have not told this lie for a long time. I stole it from a friend. I was a very high overachiever in high school and college, and I graduated like 10th in my class of like 900, like blah, blah, whatever. And I applied to a bunch of colleges, obviously. I ended up going to a state school because it was free for me. But I also got into, I'm from Arizona, so I went to U of A, whatever, no big deal. But I got into like Sarah Lawrence and NYU, like, yay for me. But my friend applied to Harvard, and she got an admittance letter from Harvard, but it was for somebody else. And she told everybody that she got into Harvard, even though she got somebody else's admittance letter. So I repurposed her fake getting into Harvard story that she told people for myself and started telling people I also got into Harvard, even though I never applied there. That is such a dumb secret, and I never told anybody that I used to lie about it, and I don't think anybody that I currently know, I'm fucking 44 years old. Like, this is such old news. I don't think anybody I currently hang out with knows this lie or I've told to, but maybe because I do have a lot of very old friends. So anyway, that's my dumb ass, stupid secret. Love you guys. I've listened to so many of your podcasts. I just found a big chunk of really early podcasts of yours from the beginning that I'm listening to right now. So thank you for your God's work.
All right, Laura, I think maybe we could have cut this call a little sooner.
Well, it's not like it's romancing the stone. It's not like you got to go do archaeological digs to find our old episodes. Just scroll down. Go ahead and scroll down. When the numbers get to in the single digits, you're at the early stuff.
So she lied about getting into Harvard.
There is something interesting about this secret.
What?
Which is that it's an interesting look into the human mind, that she needed someone else's lie to justify her lie. She never would have had the audacity to just say, I got into Harvard. But because she had a friend that lied about it, which, by the way, Harvard sending someone else's admittance letter should be automatic admittance into Harvard. It's so cruel. It's such a vicious thing to mistake to make. She should have been able to call Harvard and say, I got somebody else's admission. Could you just let me in? But that's interesting, isn't it? She her mind needed permission to begin to deceive her friends about how dope she was.
Yeah. I mean, I learned early on, you don't really want to lie about stuff.
Yeah, you do though.
No, I don't.
You're always advising people to lie. That's your main...
No, it's not lying about your own credentials like things you've done in life.
You tell people two things. You say lie and three things. Lie, break up, and go to a John Waters festival. That's what it all comes down to, Tosh.
Have a baby.
Have a baby, yeah.
But not everyone. Not if you don't want. But if you're like, oh, I might want one, then you should have one.
Listen, when she was talking about being 10th in her graduating class of 900, I was thinking about our kid. You know, the other day I was asking her about what the dynamics in her class were, and she was like, "Well, they're the bad kid. They're the good kids who never speak out of turn and are just good." And I was like, "Are you one of them?" She's like, "No." She said, "There's the bad kids who are like always disruptive and fucking up." And I go, "Are you one of them?" She goes, "No." I go, I don't think I want you to be one of the good kids. I definitely don't want you to be one of the bad kids. But like, you don't want somebody that's like a sycophant. I mean, yes, those people will be CEOs. Sure, that will happen. They'll be rich. But you want somebody that's like.
Wait, so if you're like listening to the teacher a lot, you're going to be rich?
If you're just one of these people that's like, Mrs. Cunningham, I know what you, Hermione Granger over here. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're going to thrive, but like, it's not, you don't want to be that, because that's a very rigid way of living, and I don't think those people are intensely happy. And you also don't want to be a fuck up, because those people die of fentanyl overdoses eventually. But like in the middle, where you're a little weird, but you're also like capable of behaving yourself, that's fun. That's the fun zone of life.
I had an epiphany yesterday where that, I always want to bring stuff to my daughter that's like my interests.
Yeah.
Like I want my interests to flow through her.
Yeah.
But really it's like I need to help her find her interests.
What, LOL surprise dolls?
Obviously mine's a little better right now, but I'm just saying
that's interesting you say that, because I have a friend, and I'm picking my phone up for a reason. I have a friend, and they love Taylor Swift at this house. I mean, it's like an ongoing thing that they love Taylor Swift, and she said, sent me, "Hey, what do you think? What do you think of these people? Post Malone, Casey Musgraves, Luke Combs, Sabrina Carpenter, Gracie Abrams, Billie Eilish. These are the artists that are getting airtime in our house." And I said, "Yeah."
Billie Eilish is good.
I go, "Billie Eilish." That's what I said. "Billie Eilish is good. What about Post Malone?" She says. I say, "Sure, he's fine. He's not for me." And I finally was like, "Look, I don't like pop music." Basically, they'll get pop music. That's what I said to her. They'll get pop music no matter what happens. It's pop. It's going to come to her from her peers. Your job is to cultivate her interests outside of the influences of her low IQ friends. That's the job of the adult. That's what parenting is. You're not supposed to yes and Taylor Swift. You're supposed to go, oh, actually, yes, you are. You're supposed to yes and it. You're supposed to go Taylor Swift, yes, and have you checked out John Prine? Post Malone, yes, and what about Kurt Vile? Like, you're supposed to, Sabrina Carpenter, yes, and Afro House, Tech House.
Joni Mitchell,
all of the, like, even if it's lame, you're supposed to expose them to the things that you found great when you were growing up. They don't need you to reinforce the things they already think are good. They need you to introduce them to things that are actually good from eras bygone, right? I mean, it's like
if I clapped, if I did that snap clap thing, I would do it after what you just said.
It's real though. It's like if my kid came to me with a fucking like a Bluey and it was like, "Is this the greatest TV show ever?" And I didn't say, "Oh, yeah, it's good, but you should also check out this never-ending story. You should also check out." No, would I only go like, "No, yeah, let's go see the Lego Batman movie"? No, I'll go see the Lego Batman movie, but I'm also going to play you Labyrinth. I'm also going to expose you to the things. That's the whole reason I'm an adult. I've had all these experiences. I remember being a kid and there was cool shit from back then. And not only that, I'm a cool adult. Our kid's lucky. She got 2 cool adults and Laura.
All right. Well, listen.
Was that one secret?
We went on rants, but you know what? We have time for one more. Let's hear it.
Hi, guys. I realized I have a pretty solid secret and I can't share it, so here I am.
Yes.
I am a massage therapist.
I like
and
this.
The other day, I was in a couples massage and I was working on the man. And when we flipped him over, he started squeezing my hand and like playing with my hand and
Ew.
it happened and you just kind of got to move on and silently stew over it. But today, or not today, whenever it happened, oh God, I held in a sneeze, and my allergies been bad, and so instead of just like suffering in silence, I wiped my hand through my nose and gave him a scalp massage with it, and I think I won a little bit. And that's my secret.
Oh, that's a good secret.
Wait, but hold on. He starts playing with her hand while she's giving him a massage.
No, we've missed. Okay, the secret is good.
I would be like, you have to leave.
We missed well, first of all, you're not a massage therapist. I'm sure they deal with this all the time. But the detail that was crazy was it was a couples massage. That's why I was laughing.
Oh.
The audacity. The fucking unmitigated gall of a man lying next to his girlfriend or wife and then trying to get a happy, like what a secret.
Maybe they were trying to do a three-way or something?
Well, there's another massage therapist there, so they'd have to then pitch it to, he was just trying to get her to touch his dick. In a couples massage?
I don't know. I didn't hear that part, but.
Can you play the beginning again?
I am a massage therapist, and the other day I was in a couples massage.
All right.
And I was working on the man.
That's crazy. That's insane. I mean, it's insane enough.
But also the part that what you put a woman through.
Well, yeah.
Like, what are you supposed to say? You put him in such a weird position.
I'm saying it's insane enough to try to convince a legit massage therapist to, on the fly, turn into a sex worker. But to do it with your wife sitting right there going like, oh, yeah, that's the stuff. Oh, that is wild. That's a wild one. But that's not even the secret.
Right. The secret I get, yes, I would have actually told him to leave.
In front of his wife, you would have broken up a family? That's probably a hard decision for a massage therapist to make.
So he's like, I can get I have like probably a 15% chance of this girl touching my dick. 5%. 1 to 5% chance, maybe.
It's a 0% chance in a couples
right?
massage.
But I guess he's like, my wife's going to be face down, not paying attention.
But it's 0 in a couples, in a one-on-one massage therapy session. Yeah, you probably have a 10%, 5% chance that the woman is like, does massages like that sometimes. And is like, okay, we can do that. But in a couples massage, no massage therapist, even if they do sex work, is going to go, oh, sure, I'll silently, quickly jerk you off while your wife unknowingly lies there getting real body work. That's fucking completely insane. But you think you would have been brave enough to say, get up and get out?
No, it would have been so hard. I would just be like, please don't do that. I would do that.
Yeah,
kind of like
good.
that snotty little voice.
Yeah, I like that.
Firm, though.
You know what I would say? Please don't do that.
Oh, but you know what the problem is? What if the wife heard that? But it's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Please don't do that.
Yeah.
And like the subtext is, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
You try that again.
Scumbag.
I'm gonna embarrass you.
But instead, she decided to sneeze into her hand and wipe snot into his scalp. Which I think is pretty good.
Which one's better?
I don't know. But he doesn't know. That's the problem. She got her, she won, but he didn't know. And that is sad.
I will say you probably would feel a little better if you assert yourself in that situation, because then it's like the next time you do it even a little more.
You know what would have been funny?
You have to practice asserting yourself.
Is if he had squeezed her hand and she had said really loudly, oh, you want me to jerk you off?
All right. Well, let's, do we have another call?
Yeah, I think we do have another call.
And now we're going to call Mari in Salt Lake City. Please be a Mormon. Please be a Mormon.
She's not a Mormon.
Oh, let's not even mention Mormons, seriously.
Okay, let's try it. Let's see if we can do it.
We can.
Let's see what happens.
Well, it must get so old.
Mari.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, doing well. How are y'all?
How are the Jazz this season, huh?
Oh, the Utah Jazz?
Don't be asking me about any jazz. That's not my lane at
It's
all.
not my lane either. Does it look like my lane? We were just trying to get to a call with somebody in Salt Lake and not mention Mormonism. And so I thought Jazz, why not bring up the Utah Jazz?
I mean, we can definitely dig deep into Mormonism. I have a lot to say there. So
Bet you do.
Yeah.
What's the percentage of people in Salt Lake City who have a lot to say about Mormonism?
Everybody.
No way. Every single
the people
person.
that I'm around, probably 100%.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here, many levels.
Yeah, you're either Mormon or you live in a state dominated by Mormons, so you're going to have an opinion either way.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
It sounds like
Well,
there's some unrest.
I was raised here, but left right after high school, and am just returning after being away for 25 years. So yeah, this is a challenging space for me.
I got to tell you though, your challenging space. I love Salt Lake City. I love Utah. I think it's dope.
It's definitely a beautiful city. It's like Denver, but without all the construction.
It's like
Our last caller was from Denver, and I was like, every time I'm in Denver, but Utah kind of has a more relaxed
It's like
energy.
Denver with a little bit of Jerusalem, but it's a lot of white. It's a white Jerusalem in Denver.
I do call it the white Mecca.
That's right. That's what it is. It's white Mecca. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, so
exactly.
Mari, how can we help you?
So first off, I absolutely adore the both of you.
Aw.
But
Thank you.
Queen Natasha, I adore you the most.
Thank
God,
you,
this
dear
keeps
media.
happening.
Please listen. I'm telling you, it needs to be 75%, 25%.
It's been 100% tonight. So yeah, that's fine.
Love
That's
it,
fine.
as it should be.
Yes.
Yeah, so my question today is about communication styles of straight men in particular, and how to potentially level set expectations there. So I've been dating a gentleman pretty consistently for the last couple of months. This is something that's new to me because all my previous relationships, for the most part, were queer relationships with women or femmes. So I previously had male lovers, but they typically turned into my submissives.
Okay, hold on.
This dynamic,
I love everything you're saying, and I want to know
Very
more.
Mormon, too.
But yes, you're obviously an Orthodox Mormon. That part is clear. But can you go back, because this is something I've always been confused by. What is a femme?
A feminine lesbian.
No.
So a femme would be someone that identifies with the feminine parts of themselves. They may present as like female bodied, but their biological sex might not be that of their gender. So I've also been in relationships with like non-binary people that present more feminine, trans women. So not just like.
So a femme is a subtler designation because it can encompass both people that do identify as women, but is it is it instead?
It's a broader spectrum.
It's a broader spectrum.
It doesn't just classify people who identify as femmes as those people that have female bodies.
Okay, gotcha.
Right? So,
gotcha.
Are you a femme?
Oh, I'm very much a queer, woman who loves other women in whatever shape and form that they manifest.
Okay, I'm sorry that I forced you to unpack queer identity. But I have been.
For you, Moshe, anything.
I have been confused about that particular term because a woman that I used to date started identifying herself that way online, and I didn't really know what it meant.
But it definitely turned you on.
No, I just was. I was curious because I had thought was curious. So okay. I derailed you when you were saying you turn these men into submissives. I shouldn't have. That seems like much more interesting than.
But the reality has been that, right? So like, for the most part, I was even married to a woman at one point. A lot of like my relationships have either been with like women or people that identify as femmes. Those men that I've chosen to spend time with previously typically did turn into my submissives. There was no connection outside of that. We were very clear on our roles. But again, this dynamic is different. I've really been enjoying, getting to know, this gentleman.
You're falling in love with a man?
Ew.
I don't think that it's love, but I do think that its intention is there. And again, like he's really expressive about his desires and his intention to continue to get to know me. But then like gets mad busy with work and like pretty much disappears. Like there's been several times when we've made plans and he's ghosted.
Mm.
So, I'm at a point that I'm like, fuck off. But there's also been, feelings that have developed. And I'm really protective over my time because I'm also a single mother of a 2-year-old. So the fact that he doesn't even honor my time feels very disrespectful. And at this point, I'm really trying to consider if like I want to stay with it, if I want to keep on exploring more, because again, feelings are there, or if I just need to let it go. So my question is like, how do I get him to get the message? Or is this just how dudes roll?
What's stopping you from just telling him what you just said?
Well, I have in like softer ways. Like I feel as if I'm kind of like gentle partnering him. I'm kind of afraid of like coming across as like needy or ultra dominant.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, my past experience with men has been like you're at my feet
I got it.
and you know your role.
And you feel,
and in this way, I'm not feeling that.
you feel a little, tell me if I'm putting words in your mouth. There's something about this relationship because it's a new dynamic of dating for you that is maybe a little vulnerable for you as well.
And also straight men like
Very.
rejection. So it's like that is something
They like
that's
rejection?
kind of, they respond to it. So it's like if he does something that was like really disrespectful, like I would probably like be busy a couple times.
Well,
Really?
this is one of
Okay.
Natasha's game dice
But
I
tosses.
love it because
It's
I need to
true.
know that game.
Right,
You
because
know, 'cause
you're out of practice. You're not in.
No,
you're-
she likes women and women don't do that.
Right. And
men do that.
Women
Men,
don't do that. And I also have to challenge myself to see him as a fully formed human being because in the past, like men haven't shown up themselves in that way. They've shown up themselves as being very emotionally unavailable, inconsistent. So I'm kind of like not trying to bring that baggage here, but the shit's showing up too. And I also don't want to be, blind to that.
Okay, so go ahead.
I have one more idea. You can wait for like a very specific account. Like, so it's not just generally you don't really seem like you're easy to communicate. What if it's like when you didn't let me know what was happening, I'm a busy mom. I felt like you didn't respect my time. Like make it about soft, do it, but maybe make it about a really specific issue, and then you can kind of open the aperture a little bit if you want to say, you don't want it to be a laundry list of all the times he's annoyed you, but
Right.
open the aperture more for yourself and like what you're looking for and what you want and need, and can he, you don't want to be too intense, but
Well,
Right.
I'm curious. How did he when you softly? Because this I can say about men versus women. Like in the most cliched break it down thing, women often feel, because women perhaps are more intuitive with one another and in general, that they are giving a much clearer communicative signal than the man actually needs. Like, right? Like I sometimes, Natasha and many women I've dated sometimes think they've told me something and I'm like, I actually need you to tell me like I'm stupid because I don't know. Now, that's not to say this guy can't be disrespecting you and being inconsiderate. I'm just saying he might need something more than a soft, subtle version. It doesn't need to be harsh and scoldy, but also it
yeah,
could,
don't scold. They
it could
hate
be-
that. Wait till you're married.
Yeah, it could be it could be much more direct, and because what you need to figure out is this guy deliberately being inconsiderate of you and your time, or is he not aware of how inconsiderate he's being of your time? Is he being openly rude, or is he being accidentally inconsiderate? That's the question you want answered, right?
And right now, I can say, like, my sense is that he's being accidentally inconsiderate because when I have brought it up softly, he's like reaffirmed that I'm very, very important to him, that he wants to make me a priority, but then like his words don't align with his actions.
Right.
And, he's also a chef, which I'm recognizing chefs get very, very busy. And he's like opening up a new restaurant and I'm trying to hold space for all of that.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, you got to keep on dancing because courtship is an important part of me. And about me getting to know someone else, especially if I'm choosing to spend time with a straight man.
I have some. Well, don't say that. But I to him. You can say it to me all day. But I have some thoughts actually.
Well, I just think that he's starting a new job. He's very stressed. Chefs are like, they have like they're hotheads sometimes.
Yeah.
So, it's like maybe make it easy for him. Maybe you could say like, hey, maybe we could get away, do something. Can we have a date night? What night in the next 2 weeks would be good? I'll plan something fun for us and we can catch up, like you can make his life. And if he's like, oh, I'm too busy for that, well, then you have your answer. But like, make it easy for him. And you've got to sometimes look at the calendar and it's annoying.
Well, we are going to see each other tomorrow, which I'm grateful for, but I'm also kind of like, I feel the need to say something.
Great. I
Again,
have a
it's becoming
thought.
a pattern.
I have a thought here, and it aligns with what Natasha's saying, which is there's a way to say the thing. Because another thing I can say this about men, we really, and maybe, listen, all this is with the caveat that I'm not saying this is good or that it's good, but it's just sort of true. We hate being scolded, right? And we just do. I mean, or I do. I hate being scolded, and I get defensive when I'm scolded, and I stop hearing the information, and I start defending the position, right? And so so there's a way in which you can tell him all of the things that you need that don't necessarily have anything to do with the disappointment you feel in the way he's acting. I mean, if you choose to go this route, you can say, here's what I need, going forward. I really need you to let me know when we have plans and to stick to those plans, or to tell me in enough time for me to cancel, because I have a child and I can't pivot on a dime like you can. I know that being a chef, it's a much more volatile world, but my world's less volatile and I need more stability. Like, you can go through all of the frustrations you're having. This is your choice. You can also express your
pick two.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that I'm trying to frame it as there's a way to express the frustrations without saying. The opposite of that is when you don't text me in time, I feel totally disrespected and like you don't give a shit about my time. That's more of a you're doing something wrong, as opposed to saying really firmly like, here's what I need. Because if this guy really does like you, and I'll take him at his word that he does because he's telling you that, and why not? He probably would love that information. Here are the boundaries that I have that I need you to adhere to in order for me to feel like you're in this. Rather than here are the things you are doing wrong. It's the same information. It's just flipped in a like, here's what I need rather than here's what you're doing wrong framework. That's what I think. I think that would be useful.
And I appreciate that. I'm like trying to be like ultra aware as to like how I show up, because again, I'm just very dominant and independent by nature. So,
but he probably likes that about you.
I know he does. And I feel as if we're kind of exploring that, but like...
Oh, you're going to have him on his knees in like two more months.
Yeah, you're going to have his paring knife up to his neck pretty soon. Yeah.
Hope so.
Yeah. I mean, he clearly...
excitement is there.
Do you want to dominate him?
Okay, I want to know all about that.
But... I mean, I just love that type of exploration. And like, there's a lot of levels within me and within that space that I've known for decades now that, I would love to explore and see what's good.
Sounds fun.
You should try it sometime, honey.
I don't like to be a submissive.
Well, I don't
see you as a submissive at all, Natasha.
Like put a ball gag in my mouth or something.
I would love to, but not sexually, just sort of generally.
Just see me submissive?
No, just a ball gag. No, here's the good news, and I'm trying to answer your question the way that you asked it. Like you're trying to like straight man whisper a little bit because you're not used to it, right?
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I just I don't know that I don't have that decoding sheet.
Right. And I think a positive note is like if you came to me, if I was ghosting you, and you came to me saying like I'm a little frustrated, and I was actually ghosting you because I didn't want to get intimate with you and didn't want to be close to you, I would start at that point using that as my excuse. I have done this many times. I'm not saying I'm proud of it, but it's true. Where a person expresses a frustration, and I use that moment to say, "I'm glad you said that because here's what I'm not really I'm not capable of giving you what you want." Like that. Right. That was
You would say that to girls?
If it was true, if they were saying I want more from you, and it was true for me that I couldn't give them that emotionally, or I didn't have the time. When they express their frustration, I would say, "Okay, good. We're getting that on the table. I don't have what you want. I'm not going to be able to give you that." So
Moshe's dating a girl, and the girl's like, "Can you just let me know like before 2 a.m. if there's going to be a date?"
I don't have the capacity.
I'm so sorry. Right now, it's not a good. I'm just saying that if a guy's trying to get out, or not even get out, sometimes I think men, maybe women do this too. They won't want out, but they'll want to give themselves like tons of leeway and freedom emotionally. So they'll set up all these sort of barriers between what you're expecting and what they can give, so that they don't ever feel vulnerable. Or the fact that he says to you, "You're extremely important to me, and I want to give you what you want." To me, that's positive. That's a positive sign. He's not using it as a way to like bring up 1,000 goalposts that he needs you to back off, right? That would have been a good opportunity for him to say, "You back down because I'm not ever going to give you what you want." The fact that he's saying, "Okay, well, I think this is important," it just means maybe, it's not settled law, but maybe he just isn't really yet aware of the things that you actually need from him. And I think clarity is good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Because again, when I brought up the point in the past, he's like reminded me that he's kind of like been out of the dating game, and that he's still trying to get to, used to like the rhythm of it all. And again, it's always like affirmation, which feels really good to receive. But then I'm trying to look for action,
right?
So yeah.
Right. That's more important is for him to do the things than for him to say, no, I want to do the things. Of course. Yeah.
And I think, just maybe thinking of something really specific that happened that you would need a different reaction from. So you can let him decide if he's willing to give you that. Or like Moshe is just like, nope.
Well, I mean, listen, if you're emotionally unavailable, I can say this as a straight man, but I don't know, maybe women do this too. But if you're an emotionally unavailable man, you will look for opportunities to make that clear. I mean, unless you're a monster, and this is like Monster Light, you'll look for opportunities to make that clear because you are like, I don't want you to think I'm ever going to give you the thing that I can't give you. I want that to be super clear so everything, all the cards are on the table. And so unless you're a manipulator, and I mean, I think it has more integrity to say to a person that's like, I want more from you emotionally, to say, I'm sorry, I can't give you more emotionally, than to say, oh my God, you're the best. I want to give you whatever you want, and then just not, and no, you're not going to do that. I don't think it's settled what your guy is. He might be bullshitting you, and he might be telling you the truth. I think by you setting super clear, like, here's what I need without any, like, here's what you're doing wrong, then you'll be able to observe in the next few months, oh, he's still not capable of doing that, or he's still not doing that. And if you find that information out after really explicitly saying, here's what I need, then your answer is really clear. He'll never give you what you want. He's not going to give you what you want. You got to decide if you want to hang in with that or not.
All right. Good luck out there, honey.
Thank you so much, y'all. I appreciate you. And yeah, be good.
We appreciate you. When we come to Salt Lake, come visit. And hopefully...
I will. I actually saw you, Natasha, the last time you were here. I haven't been able to see you, Moshe, here. I've seen you in Brooklyn several times.
How was my show?
Amazing.
Thank you.
Well, when I come to Salt Lake, what I hope to see is you dragging a man with a cutlery set tattoo on his arm by a little dog leash.
Yes.
Yes. Go off, fam.
Gold.
Okay. Thank you.
Y'all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, if 100% of her friends...
She was cool.
She was really cool. If 100% of her social circle and friends are Mormons, that means she's a Mormon and...
She did not say that.
That man is a Mormon.
No. She didn't say that. She just said she's surrounded by them.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, oh, maybe there's a new kind of Mormon out there.
I mean, there's probably a million kind of Mormons out there. Mormons aren't one thing.
Right, but they really do adhere to some strict laws.
Hardcore ones do, probably. You know about their dry humping game?
Yeah.
Some of the best in the business, apparently.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I've never dry humped a Mormon, but I heard they're great at it.
Okay, listen, if you want to give us a secret, maybe you've dry humped something before, call us at 213-222-8608.
And if you'd like to come on the podcast, you can email us, endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com.
Also, come to our dinner party. It is tomorrow.
That's right. We have a dinner party planned tomorrow. It's going to be really fun. The dinner parties are so special. You guys should jump up in that Patreon tier just to come to them. It's like a real conversation. It's not like a performance like it is sometimes on the podcast. It's like we're all getting to know each other. It's really fun.
We'll go around. We'll talk. It always kind of becomes its own thing.
Yeah, and then there's like repeat characters who you get to know, and you could be a new character, and there's always somebody that's really funny. Anyway, it's good. Listen, you can also find us on...
That person is me.
Yeah, you're very funny, Queen. You're the femme of my life.
Thank you, honey.
Also, just FYI, now that we're doing a bunch of URLs and stuff, you can find us anywhere you get your podcasts, exclusively, though, through Dear Media.
I love you, Dear Media.
I love you too, Dear Media.